Hey, my name is Lizzie Smiley, and I absolutely love helping people connect with their calling and all the tools they need to kick roadblocks and excuses right out the door so they can cultivate the life they dream about. If you want to launch, grow, pivot, or scale your Etsy shop, or you've always wanted to develop the mindset and skills to run your own business, then I'm your girl. I've had that entrepreneurial spirit going strong since my very first lemonade stand, and now I'm a work-at-home mama with multiple online companies and a full-time Etsy shop, all while being present with my kids for the everyday chaos and most important milestones. On this podcast, we'll talk about all things business, mindset, Etsy, creativity, dazzling our customers, and so much more. There's plenty of room at this table for you, so scooch on in and let's go. I'm holding nothing back. Welcome to How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. I'm so glad you're here. Howdy, my friends. I'm so glad to be with you again this week. We are gearing up to celebrate Christmas over here in the Smiley household. We have lots of family events planned and a little jaunt to the Texas coast before New Year's. Here in South Texas, it's often still pretty warm this time of the year, so I'm not insane. It's still pretty warm to go to the coast. And I hope you are likewise enjoying the season, however it may look for you. And I am sending you my love and hugs and so much peace this holiday season. You have fought the good fight this year. And I just want you to know how proud I am to be standing here with you, looking back on all we've walked through. I just needed to take a moment. So for today's podcast, this is more personal. I thought we would talk about books, which is a topic I adore as a personal growth junkie. I could talk about this all the time, but that would probably bore you. So maybe a few of you will love this with me. And I just think one of the most important things you can do as a small business owner is to continue growing. Read books or listen if you prefer audiobooks. I don't think one's better than the other. Take courses, study articles, become a student of the people who are several steps ahead of you. It will grow you first, and then your business, and then your influence, and then your legacy. So in my case, books have built me. And then I, in turn, have built my business. And it's a process that just continues on. There's always something new to learn and somewhere that I need to grow inside myself, usually in abundance of places. Oh, just this week I was thinking about how I still just sometimes struggle with imposter syndrome. I'm just like, oh, am I good enough to be doing this? Am I doing this right? And I mean, all signs point to yes, but I just want you to know that we all struggle with it. So for today, I thought I'd share with you the most impactful books that have helped build the businesswoman and entrepreneur I am today. It's so, so fun. So here's the thing. These books aren't literally going to teach you about Etsy. I want you to know that. It's not like Etsy for Dummies is not on the list. They're not going to teach you SEO or graphic design or photography or how to research what's selling now. This isn't where you're going to learn the exact skills that you need to have success on the platform, okay? If you're looking for that, the best thing you can do is invest in a course. Books on Etsy are going to be outdated before you can even get through them. So check out my course. I have an e-course that teaches you, it's called Listings That Sell. It teaches you how to sell on Etsy and set up your listings so that people will buy them. And it's exactly what I've used to build a full-time income for 6 years and maintain it and pivot on Etsy. So I'm holding nothing back in there. So you can check out mine, or you know what? If I'm not necessarily your vibe, there are so many other amazing Etsy coaches out there today. There are so many. When I started, there were 2. And I took a course and it was okay, but now there's so many great ones, and you will get that specific to Etsy instruction there. Instead, today, these books that I'm suggesting, they're going to teach you how to think, which will be equally, if not more important. They're going to form you into a person who can dream up, grow, and sustain a business without a boss telling you what to do, perhaps without a whole lot of support. They're going to help you understand yourself and other people better so that you can do a better job of serving both. And so as we dive into this, I'm always going to be transparent with you. So one little side note up front, some of the books in this selection are going to be faith-based books. I don't usually share a bunch about my personal faith on the podcast, and I don't intend to start to, because I really want to keep this relatable and inviting to people of all backgrounds and beliefs. But every once in a while, this will peak out a little bit because it's a big part of who I am personally. There's kind of no escaping it. But just rest assured, I'm going to keep this. I wanted to keep this list like really authentic to the books that legitimately moved the needle for me, in terms of my business growth, my personal growth, my mindset. And these are it. Like when I sat down, this is just me keeping it real for you guys. So I think you deserve that from me. And as we go along, I will be transparent and tell you which ones have a Christian bent. So if you can decide if it's for you or not. And maybe it's a wahoo that makes it even better, or no thanks, but some of these others are really good fits. So with that, let's dig in. Every single one of these puppies is so, so special to me. And I know that they're going to benefit you too. So they're going to be each linked in the show notes. So don't worry about writing them down if you're driving or working out or making your products. I got you. They're linked and titled below. Book number 1 is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Everyone should read this book. Everyone should read this book, okay? I read this for the first time about 10 years ago, and it totally expanded my horizons about what's possible in business. The overall theme is about the power of daily discipline, but this book is the farthest thing from dry, okay? It is chock full of wonderful stories, and they illustrate its points and they bring to life how much can be accomplished with little steps taken consistently over time. Someone like me who's more creative, and I mean, I'm not totally woo woo out there. I do like to-do lists and checking boxes, and I do have plans and mission statements and things like that. But I am not as disciplined, for example, as my husband would be, or my father, who I mean, I think he sometimes just think I'm a monkey, like he's so disciplined and I am less so. And this really helps me. So I revisit this anytime I need encouragement because it feels like something is taking too long, for example, that helps. Or if I realize I've gotten a little loosey-goosey in how I'm running my business or running my life or my days. So totally recommend that you read The Slight Edge if your goals feel really overwhelming and far away. Book number 2 is Fear is Not the Boss of You by Jennifer Allwood. Jennifer is my personal business coach. I'm a member of her Next Level Mastermind group. She's amazing. I've worked with her personally before. I've been in her inner circle, which is her smaller coaching. It's actually more people, bigger, but less of investment coaching group. And her business is totally focused on helping the creative entrepreneur. So literally every single one of you could benefit from following her. You can listen to her podcast. She has lots on her blog. You could even join her inner circle membership when it opens up. She's the best coach I've ever found in our space. Like it's perfect for an Etsy shop owner. She specifically provides content and resources for creative business owners. Her book, Fear is Not the Boss of You, is so, so good. If you struggle with any kind of fear relating to your business or achieving your dreams, like I was talking about earlier, like imposter syndrome, she will help you nip that in the bud. I really enjoyed all of her stories, her advice. Like she's had an amazing journey becoming the successful woman she is today. She's just, I'm not going to spoil it, but her story is awesome. So I should also say, like, I like this book so much I've even gifted it a number of times to women that I know who had big business dreams and like struggled with fear, which hello, like point to one who doesn't, right? And so as a side note, this is an example. Her coaching is tailor-made even more specifically to Christian women. So we pray in her mastermind. She approaches things from a kingdom perspective. I still think you could benefit a ton if that's not, even if that's not your jam. But you'll enjoy her even more if it is. So grab Fear is Not the Boss of You if you struggle with indecision, with fear, or you feel stuck. Book number 3. Oh my gosh. This one's been like life-changing. It's called Boundaries. Many of you have probably read it. It's been around for a while. Boundaries by Doctors Henry Cloud and Dr. Townsend. So I'm gonna break open my chest here for a second and show you my heart. As a recovering people pleaser, this book has been so instrumental in helping me develop healthier relationships, like both in personal life and in business. I feel like it's really helped me build confidence as I put myself and my work out there in the world too. I used to be a pretty insecure person, and I've grown so much. The keys in this book, the strategies and boundaries really, really helped me. And I personally sucked at boundaries, guys, for so long. I was really muddled about how to say no. I really struggled to say no at all and when to say yes. I said yes to everything. People, invitations, obligations, all of it. The entire world's problem was my problem, literally, until I mastered this. And it was exhausting. So, this is a book I began studying many, many years ago, and I revisit it often. Now I'll pop in the audiobook, and it's taken a long time. And I will be honest, like this is something if you struggle with people pleasing, it can take several layers of inner healing. But personally, I'm in a much better place than I ever used to be, and it's helped me become a more balanced and far more successful businesswoman. This is another faith-based read, so be prepared for that. Um, they're really coming from a like what are biblical boundaries, and so I personally think it's excellent. It served me well, and if you guys know of a great book about boundaries that is secular, shoot me an email. It's Lizzie Lizzie Smiley Smiley at yahoo.com, because I'd love to make that as a suggestion for folks who really need to work on this. I think so many of us do, but don't necessarily want the faith angle. So I just invitation there if you can recommend something. So grab boundaries if you struggle with them like I did, and I think you'll find tons of value in it. This podcast is brought to you by my very own website, howtosellyourstuff.com, where I have created lots of free and paid tools to help you be successful with your new Etsy shop. As I've developed this business, I've really focused on thinking back to my early days of trying to figure Etsy out, and I brainstormed a list of the things that would have helped me make more sales earlier. And everything I'm creating over there is expressly to make sure that you can get there faster than I did. Two of my courses, Listings That Sell and Customer Service Templates, are perfect resources for that fledgling Etsy seller. Listings That Sell will teach you how to position your products for sales by setting up your listings with the best photos, keywords, and branding to attract your perfect customer. I'm showing you how research is your secret weapon for getting your product seen and sold. And I'm giving you my step-by-step process for how I personally research as a strategy in my own shop. Customer service is way more critical to sales than most shop owners realize. So in my mini e-course, Customer Service Templates, I'm teaching you my exact customer service strategy and providing you with templates of my specific wording for over 20 different customer service scenarios, including some of the hardest ones. You don't have to go figure out what to say and how to say it. I've already done that for you. One of the main keys to being a successful business owner is working harder on yourself than anything else. So go grab these courses and get yourself on the fast track to your Etsy shop goals. I can't wait to watch you do it. Book number 4, Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo. And I'm laughing because if you've been around here for any length of time, you have heard me mention this book to you before. It's like my business mantra, you guys. I must whisper this to myself at least once a week when I'm trying to figure something out. So this book will seriously fire you up and motivate you to grow to that next level. It's so good. The whole concept is that whatever challenge you're up against, you can figure it out. I feel super energized whenever I listen to it. And I will say, yeah, the audiobook version of this is pure gold. This one, I would say for sure go audio. And Marie is fiery, full of great ideas, and such an optimist. I love all of her stories. Like, she's got some of the best stories in any audiobook. I do not find myself drifting away. I stay focused on her content. I really, really admire all that she's accomplished too. Like, this woman is next level. She's amazing. She's done a lot. So grab Everything is Figure Outable if you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or need help kicking excuses to the curb. She's really good at that. So you'll love that one. Number 5, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is an oldie but goodie, my friends. Odds are you may have read this before, unless you are Gen Z, in which case you probably never heard of it. But even if you've read it before, this is another one that I think is good to revisit with some regularity. You know, some of these old-fashioned niceties and manners and people skills are incredibly relevant and worth refreshing as we're moving into 2022. I think this book in particular has really helped me soften some harsh edges that I used to have and develop me into a more like empathetic person. And it taught me to really focus on other people over myself, to really get out of my own head and look at the human being in front of me. Um, and, this book is about developing people skills, and that will translate into your friendships, your business relationships, how you communicate with people online. It's very well rounded. So your customers, they want to buy from someone that they know, like, and trust. And being in the digital age, like the skill of genuinely conveying likability, like through the interwebs, it's like more critical than ever. These skills are more relevant than ever, and we have to figure out how to take them and get them onto the written page and through video. So grab How to Win Friends and Influence People to help you craft your brand message, to learn how to delight your customers, and to fine tune the service that you provide. Number 6, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Oh my gosh. How do you like that title? This is another phrase that goes through my thoughts all the time as I'm planning my days. Brian Tracy teaches time management in this book, but in such a memorable way. Again, not dry at all. Just like the Scuttleson book. And I'm always looking to improve my time management. So Brian's theory is that I'm trying to get this out without cackling. His theory is that if you have to eat a big live bullfrog today, you should do it first thing. That way nothing worse will happen to you all day. It's such a great illustration. But basically, we tend to make our to-do list with like, and then we'll like knock out, if you're like me, try to knock out a bunch of the easy stuff first, right? So we can feel like we've got some quick wins. I've got some check marks on my list. But then by the time the bigger, harder stuff comes up and they need to get done, we have less energy and less time to do them. So Brian says, do the hardest stuff first, and then the rest of your day will be gravy. You will have energy to complete the smaller tasks. It's good stuff. I remind myself of this often. So grab Eat That Frog to fine tune if you need to, or I should say, if you tend to procrastinate and you don't manage your time well, and you will enjoy it. It's a short read too. It won't take forever. Number 7, Keep Your Love On by Danny Silk. This book is one that like completely revolutionized my life, from my marriage to my parenting, my friendships, my business relationships. It has seeped into everything, and it's probably affected my business success far more than I even realized. Like, I hope one day I can get my arms around that. But I just love the concept here that no matter what is happening around me, no matter how someone might be treating me, what I'm experiencing, the only thing I can control is me. I manage me, period. It's like the ultimate personal accountability, right? And by managing me, I can keep my love on. I can keep loving other people even when they're not being lovable. I can bring hope and softness and realness to every situation and relationship. This book has made me a more powerful person in all the good ways because I'm not reacting anymore. I don't have to be responsible for someone else, just for me. And that has made me expect more from the people who are closest to me, and I think be able to give more in a healthy way to the people I love the most. So, heads up, as promised, this is another faith-based book. And of this whole list, it's probably affected my life and business the most. So keep your love on if you want to see your relationships grow and you need to develop better boundaries, and you want to learn how to respond to people when they're not being fun to be with. Book number 8 is Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. This is an exceptional book for building new habits into your routine. So they say that, if you've heard this quote, your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. And I don't know exactly who said that, but they're super smart. Your personal success is likely just a few better habits away. And, I've heard plenty of times over the years these concepts that habits are important. But what BJ has done so well in his book is teach us exactly how to implement. I found his stories and illustrations of how to create new habits so helpful. It was very practical. So, you'll definitely want to read Tiny Habits if you want to develop more discipline in your routine, in your day, in your business, or if there are certain changes that you'd like to make in your life and you're just not sure how to execute and implement them yet. Book number 9, Soundtracks by Jon Acuff. This is one of the newest books on the list. I just read it in 2021 and it really made an impact on me. Like, it's all about the things that we say to ourselves, those soundtracks, literally, that we play over and over again in our heads, and how they play a huge part in the life that we create. Like, honestly, all of Jon Acuff's books are excellent. You can't go wrong with any of them. But I think this is my personal favorite, and it's extremely relevant. We all of us, whether we realize it or not, we have terrible, unhelpful things that we say to ourselves every day, all the time. And this book really brought it to light. I think it brought some more awareness to me so I could start to change. So read or listen, it's another great audiobook, to Soundtracks if you're an overthinker, if you're a worrier, self-hater, or just need to level up the things that you say to yourself. Book number 10, Destined to Win by Kris Vallotton. Last one, guys. Thanks for hanging with me through all of these. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, I will say, anytime someone I follow does one of these, I'm so eager to hear what books they loved. It's actually, I geek out for it, but I do realize I may be weird. I mean, in fact, I can guarantee that I'm weird. So, this is another faith-based book. It was so important to me personally because it helped me see success and my goals for my life through God's eyes. It really shifted my perspective. Like, that lens is really important to me personally. And this helped break off some lies that the very, say it louder for the people in the back, broken church taught me about how God sees me, what he wants for me, what's evil and what is good, what is of God, what is of the devil, all that nonsense that I think got twisted for me in some places. So, if you come from a religious background, or especially maybe like a toxic religion background, or maybe, you sense that you have some unhealthy or strange rules for yourself about what God says, about business or your life or money or success. If you think that like money is evil or success is evil, or selfish, like, I'd highly recommend this one. It'll help straighten some of those things out, and you can be at peace in your own heart and in your relationship with God. And so, I think sometimes the limiting beliefs that we have about God that date back to our early childhood, they can really do a number on how we see ourselves as adults and like the success that we allow ourselves to walk into and receive. I mean, if you think money is the root of all evil, or you have a fear of success because you think it's gonna, you know turn you into a monster, that's some stuff that could be rewired for you. I really want that for you, because the truth is that success brings out what's really in you. It doesn't change you, it exposes what was already there. Um, so, Destined to Win is for you if you've got some of those unhealthy patterns or beliefs about God whispering to you that need some healing. Or if you just need some spiritual encouragement about the amazing purpose that is awaiting you on this planet. And there we have it. Those were the 10 books that have most formed who I am as a business person. And they've really empowered me to build a full-time Etsy shop. Like, I definitely give them credit. Every single one has been an important piece of that puzzle. And I hope that you've discovered one or more titles that you will put on your reading list. Also, send me yours. Like, I want to know what books have really impacted you. I love to read. Like, I want to know what you read and what you love and what was just like worth it and amazing and changed everything for you. So, I will say this podcast felt like an unexpectedly vulnerable exercise. And I'm just so glad to welcome you in a little closer to who I am and how I became her. It's that journey has been the proudest thing of my life. And I always want this to be a place where you can be you and I can be me. And we just share ideas and resources that have really helped us grow. And I'm so for you, and I'm for your vision and for your Etsy shop and for your life. And I really believe you have so much to offer. So thanks for spending this time with me. Have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate, or very happy holidays if that's more your thing. I don't know where the hoppy came from. I'll see you next week, guys. Same time, same place. And that's a wrap on this episode of How to Sell Your Stuff on Etsy. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're looking for more resources, head on over to howtosellyourstuff.com, where you'll find podcast show notes, all the links from today's episode, the blog, courses, coaching, and more. If this episode was helpful to you, awesome. The greatest compliment I can receive from you is a rate, review, and subscribe on this podcast. Not only will it allow us to connect again on a future episode, it lets me know I'm providing you with value and helps other people find this content more easily. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your support. Have a great day and see you next time.